So our question is Indian policymakers need to be mindful of domestic industry concerns and not get into a real data with respect to the RCEP. Critically analyze. India's policymaker need to be mindful of domestic industries concerns and not get into a raw deal with respect to RCEP. Critically analyze. So our best answer now you find is written. Good answer. Okay, Napoleon written here. So RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, is a free trade agreement among ASEAN and six nations comprising of China, India, comprising of six nations comprising China, India, South Korea, and Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. Please remember, in the Southeast Asia, South and Southeast Asia is the most important country. South Korea, India, Japan, China, Australia, New Zealand. The bloc covers 45% of the global population, okay, and 25% of the world's GDP. So although negotiations of seven chapters are of so although negotiations of on seven chapters are of 16 have been completed, India needs to overcome certain challenges. So like slow progress negotiations on service liberalization such as free movement of professionals, any pact on intellectual property rights over and above the tariffs as it may threaten domestic pharmaceutical companies with monopoly from MNC. Poor experience of India with FTA as combined trade deficit with ASEAN, South Korea, Japan has doubled in 8 years. Poor experience in India with FTA and as combined trade deficit with ASEAN, South Korea and Japan has doubled in 8 years. Trade deficit with India's largest partner China due to non-tariff barriers, dumping and US-China trade rivalry, which has resulted in rerouting trade goods to FTA countries. Hence, RCEP may worsen India's trade deficit with China. Heidenhout written a study. No, it's not. It is this good. So it is good. So now I study this question again, and yes, RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, is a proposed free trade agreement between ASEAN and the six Asia Pacific states. The bloc accounts for 25% of the global GDP and 30% of the global trade, 45% of the world population. Though it is a step forward for the countries towards globalization, India faces some hurdles and future outcomes. No, I don't know here. Our RCP advantage for India, movement of professional and laborers will be greatly benefited for India and creates a market for its products and greater opportunity for Indian companies to access new markets. It will help and streamline the rules and regulations of doing trade, thus reducing the trade cost. So proper implementation of Act East policy, the important now here. And here the other part is, but India, so just open now. So please revise again and again, because revise give you success. Because I study now and I revise again and again, and please revise again and again, because it is important all the time for long term your memory, and it's good for you. But India faces same major concerns over the RCEP. They are as follows. The tariff barriers is a burning issue for RCEP. Tariff barrier is a burning issue for RCEP, and Chinese factor is a major concern for India, as in most of the trade, China dominates with the cheap products, and India's trade deficit with China is a major concern. India's trade deficit with China is a major concern. So the new intellectual property rules will be detrimental for India's generic products. India's exports products are for far behind the Chinese products. Is the value chain. China's non-tariff barrier, its cheap product will be detrimental for India's MSME. Thus, we can't nullify the detrimental effects of RCEP. In the past too, India has not been able to cope up with the other countries such as Japan and US. So now it's in all the answer. So and so it is good. Santosh, what written? So I think it is good, and I don't need to another answer. So thank you.